4, the playoffs and the grand finals, which will take place on the 23rd of August, where a new Clash Royale champion will be born.
Do you remember the 2017 CCGS?
I do.
The best in the world competed there.
But now, some of them are gone.
Dali.
CMC Hill.
Yao.
Electrify.
Even Music Master is gone.
We had such great times.
We hated to see you go.
We miss you.
But not too much.
Clash Royale has evolved since then.
We already know the best teams.
But now we want to know
Who is the best player in the world?
You have what it takes to be the best.
Latin.
Europe.
Asia.
China.
Africa.
North America.
see you all in the arena.
The NoTilt World Championship will have 4 stages. Everything starts with the 20-win challenge that will take place between July 23rd to July 26th. Only those who win the challenge will move on to the second stage. The second stage will separate players into 2 regions, East and West. Each region will have 8 brackets of 1,024 players. All brackets will be live streamed. Starting with the semifinals, this will happen from July 30th until the 14th of August. The winner of each bracket will then move on to stage 3. In this stage, the 8 winners from East will compete against each other, and the 8 winners from West will do the same in a round-robin format of their own region. The top players from each region will then move on to stage 4, the playoffs and the grand finals, which will take place on the 23rd of August, where a new Clash Royale champion will be born.
Do you remember the 2017 CCGS?
I do.
The best in the world competed there.
But now, some of them are gone.
Dali.
CMC Hill.
Yao.
Electrify.
Even Music Master is gone.
We had such great times.
We hated to see you go.
We miss you.
But not too much.
Clash Royale has evolved since then.
We already know the best teams.
But now we want to know
Who is the best player in the world?
You have what it takes to be the best.
Latin.
Europe.
Asia.
China.
Africa.
North America.
see you all in the arena.
NoTilt World Championship will have 4 stages. Everything starts with the 20-win challenge that will take place between July 23rd to July 26th. Only those who win the challenge will move on to the second stage. The second stage will separate players into 2 regions.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. And good morning to the NoTilt World Championship. I'm Rich Slayton, and this is day 4 of the NoTilt Western semifinals. And it's going to be a good one, folks. It keeps on getting better and better. You guys saying the sound is so low. Well, I think my sound is pretty high. Can you guys hear my voice now? There's some quiet music in the background.
The NoTilt World Championship has 4 stages.
Stage
1 was the NoTilt 20-win challenge. The winners are now in Stage 2, the qualifier brackets, where we have 8 East brackets and 8 West brackets of 1,024 players that will be streamed from semifinals to finals. The winners of Stage 2 will qualify to Stage 3, the group stage. We will have 1 East group of 8 players and 1 West group of 8 players that will battle in a single round-robin format. The 4 top players of each group will qualify to Stage 4, playoffs, and grand final, where these 16 players will battle in a single elimination bracket to become the new Clash Royale champion of the world.
And there you go. That's what we're doing today, the NoTilt World Championship. Western Semifinals, Day 4. If you're just joining us, hello and welcome. I'm Rich Slayton, caster for Clash Royale League en Inglés. Also here for the NoTilt World Championship. We are in Stage 2 right now, or I guess we're in Stage 2 right now, the bracket stage, where we have 16 brackets throughout the world, 8 in the West, 8 in the East. And today is the Western Day 4 Semifinals. The winner today not only wins $1,000, but moves on to the next round to compete in the group stage. In the group stage this morning. It's going to be a fun one, and we've got some fire players lined up for today. And, of course, as you can see, the $1,000 prize pool per day for each stage. Stage 3, the next one, will be those players per region. The top 4 out of the 8 who move on will then go on to the finals, quarterfinals, and of course, winner gets $10,000. The winner in the end will walk away with almost $15,000 from this event. No chump change here. Pretty significant prize pool. Yeah, take a look at that. You can see the actual amounts you will get. Guys, I see some people talking about a little bit of lagginess on YouTube. There has been some YouTube lagginess lately. We are co-streaming this on Trovo as well, so if you guys do want to check that out, you can. I'll throw the link there if people are having lag troubles later. But for now, if you're watching on NoTilt YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all those different things. $50,000 total prize pool. And we have 4 really talented players in the mix today. Probably the #1 marquee player of the day is going to be Samuel Bassotto of Space Station Gaming, defending Western champions for Clash Royale League. Bassotto, one of the greatest ladder players in the game. It's either 4 or 5 #1 finishes on ladder. I can't remember which one it is right now. And over 30 top 10 finishes on ladder. High 8K personal best in terms of his ladder score. Finally got it together in terms of competitive this last season for Space Station Gaming, helping them win that championship. Next after that is Schwarzen, the German player, who's a very, very talented young German who made a big splash with existence in Clash Contender Series back in December of 2019 when he, alongside a big-time German roster, went on and won that first edition of an amateur team championship. Since then, he's been really, really good, the young German player, looking to make a mark here at the NoTilt World Championship. And then two more players who, let's take a look at the bracket, actually. There you go. Two more players you might not know as well. DreamingFly will be facing off against Schwarzen in the first of our two semi-final matches. DreamingFly from the Ukraine, part of that cabal, you might call. The Igor Lapakati, and now, of course, Legolas, his countryman. And now DreamingFly. DreamingFly coming up as part of that team right now. Part of that crew, you might call them. And here today trying to join his teammate Legolas in having a really, really great August of 2020. Legolas did just move on in the AMG Cup to the next round. And of course, Adnan is on the other side of that bracket. We'll talk about him more later. But right now, it's Schwarzen versus DreamingFly. Bar putt, we're not seeing as much as we saw in the July meta, but still seeing a fair little amount of it. If you are struggling, let me go ahead and grab that link for you, actually. If the YouTube is laggy, and again, if you're watching on YouTube, I do encourage you to stay there. This is the NoTilt World Championship, not the Rich Slayton World Championship. But if YouTube isn't working, I know it wasn't working yesterday, you can also go ahead and watch. We're co-streaming on trovo.live/RichSlayton. But if YouTube's working, go ahead and stay here, because this is actually the NoTilt World Championship. Light Sama saying checked on API, looking at the numbers. Well, Light Sama, you are definitely quoting the official numbers, but as you might know, there are some unofficial numbers that are out there as well. Battle Ram in left-hand side, and a huge connection with the Bandit. Massive double push on the left-hand lane, and just like that, Schwarzen out to a commanding lead. Dark Prince to pick up the flying machine. So far, it's been all for the German with the flying machine connection. This is pretty much a GG well played, and DreamingFly has to know it. Playing double bait from behind with 1 minute left and almost no damage on tower. Easy dubs for the opening game here for Schwarzen. As a reminder, for those of you who are new to it, you can see the ban cards on each side of the board. Schwarzen banning Miner and DreamingFly banning Fisherman. So those two will not be making any appearances during this best-of-5 set. Those are pre-submitted bans. And DreamingFly just has to sit back and wait for game number 2. Easy game 1 win for the German. GG, well played. Regroup and come back for the next one. So you are still seeing the big change here for Rocket getting into that double bait deck as opposed to Royal Delivery after the nerf. People calling there. Who do you guys think could be the finals? I mean, Schwarzen versus Samuel Bassotto might seem like the most likely result, but don't count DreamingFly out, and certainly don't count on Adnan either. Yes, please do use code RICH, by the way, if you are getting stuff in the Supercell shop. Whether you're playing Brawl Stars, Clash Royale, no matter what it is, code RICH to help support things like my $100 open tournaments, which happen regularly. If you want to get in the next one, that's going to be on Wednesday, August 12th, sponsored by Geyser. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. Hey, Hayden, thank you very much. I'm glad that you're enjoying the content. Having fun here today with the NoTilt World Championship, the only truly open, truly worldwide solo championship in Clash Royale today. Anyone could qualify through the 20-win challenge, and anyone can play throughout the world. Pretty cool. And DreamingFly getting aggressive with an early graveyard here. Very, very early graveyard. Not going to get much to show for it. A little bit of poison damage. But doesn't fall behind on Elixir, so ends up being a fine push for the Ukrainian. DreamingFly has been making appearances in my tournaments. In fact, the most recent tournament that I hosted for $100 Open, the Final Four, I believe, was Igor, Legolas, Lapacati, and DreamingFly. And the final ended up being, yes, Igor and Lapacati. That's available on my YouTube page. So these guys are doing pretty well. And now graveyard push for Schwarzen in the opposite direction. It's going to be tough on defense, I believe, for DreamingFly, with so many poisonable troops by comparison to Schwarzen on his defensive side. He's going to have to figure out how to split up those skeleton dragons and archers if he keeps dropping those on defense. Otherwise, that's a ton of poison value every single time for the German. Giant skeleton set up to the left-hand lane. And just barely crosses the bridge, not stopping it from tanking, is Schwarzen, but poison on defense will do its job. And now quick 7 elixir push on the left-hand side. Bar Barrel gets in and does tank. Graveyard all over the tower. So far, game number 2, just like the first, Schwarzen in complete command and way ahead. An easy call there to get poison value on the archers, the brawler, and the tower. Significant push in from the Ukrainian, and just like that, not that far behind, and in a good position elixir-wise. If DreamingFly can keep getting that giant skeleton to wipe out those bridge battles, that could be significant. And again, it's all DreamingFly. And look at this counter push. Hunter does go down, but Baby Dragon is alive. Final minute, 20 seconds. Schwarzen's still in the lead, but has to be careful here. And that poison's going to do a ton. That's going to be a GG poison right there. Archers and skeleton dragons right into the poison. GG, well played. Schwarzen just has to weather this one push. And that will be it. Even at reduced damage, 184 is enough to take down 142. The German takes game number 2 and now has match point to move on to the finals. So GG, well played there. See the matchup stats and data provided by Stats Royale. Go to Stats Royale to find out what your next chess is going to be. They always have that cracked open. How long till legendary? Stats Royale will tell you. StatsRoyale.com. This is a pretty great time for Clash Royale esports, as Swimmer is pointing out in the Trovo chat. AMG Cup, Space Station Gaming Cup, NoTilt, and of course CRL E starts on August 15th. West will start sometime this fall. But right now, we're in the midst of the NoTilt World Championship. Halfway through the semifinals, the stage 2. This is day 4. 4 more days to go. Psychos, I am streaming on my Trovo and also on the NoTilt YouTube page. YouTube.com/NoTilt, I believe is what it is. Or NoTilt GG. Just look up NoTilt Clash Royale on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, if you're following along watching here, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Trovo, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, Moni Vargas. Excellent Clash Royale content, replays, and more on youtube.com/RichSlate. And here we go. Royal Giant, Goblin Barrel, DreamingFly. You would say shades of the little Chen deck, but arrows. No code rich in the item shop. Hitesh, there's definitely code rich. We're talking about in-game for getting your pass royale, things like that. So, a little bit like the little Chen deck, except, of course, the Skeleton Barrow and arrows and the new edition of the Skeleton Dragons. But similar idea here, DreamingFly. Double bait with Royal Giant and Giant Skeleton all over the place. And you never like to be forced to use a fireball on a Goblin Barrel. You have to sometimes. And that was certainly a have-to situation for Schwarzen. Loses the net 1 elixir for that, though. And now DreamingFly sets up Giant Skeleton left-hand lane. Giant Skeleton tanking for the Skeleton Barrel. Bar Barrel will be there easily in response. And right now, no really good answer for the Skarmy out of Schwarzen. Needs to set up maybe a Magic Archer next time in advance. Or have a chance to go full 9 elixir with the Fireball. You have to submit a Fireball to Skarmy, though. Steven Bouchard still waiting for Disc Golf content. That's a whole different channel there, Steven. Although I did just finish building the back 9 of a course in Montana. Giant Skeleton on the right-hand side. Skeleton Barrel on the left. Bar Barrel takes care of the left-hand side, but now Royal Giant, Giant Skeleton, Hunter, and a Goblin Barrel. Piles of offense, and again, that negative elixir trade for Schwarzen. Royal Giant gets another shot on the left-hand side, 12:05. With the lead right now is the Ukrainian. Big-time push coming into the left, and you see this time Magic Archer trying to work against the Skarmy, but instead going on the Hunter here. And DreamingFly does maintain the lead. Yes, Ash Gaming Clash Royale YT. Why aren't they using good legendaries? What in the world do you mean? Expand upon your question there, we'll answer. Right now, Schwarzen using some good Royal Hogs, taking the lead back here, 9:31 to 10:72. Minute 25 left, Royal Giant into the left-hand side. Rascals hide to defend. Bar Barrel will not get the outside Goblin. That's huge. That is absolutely massive. And that's where Goblin Barrel gets a nice advantage over the Bar Barrel. That's the big effect of seeing a slight nerf here to the log, because you see a little bit less. But now, Magic Archer going for geometry. 303 on the right-hand side. Magic Archer needs 1 more shot. 2 more shots. Boom, there you go. Schwarzen with a clean 3-0. Absolute clean 3-0 from the German. Sweeping DreamingFly and sending him back to try to qualify one more time. No Wayne Pagan, Igor can try to qualify again. You can try to play in up to all 8 of the brackets if you can. And there you go, Schwarzen moving on. He'll face the winner of Adnan versus Samuel Bassotto. So Ash Gaming Clash Royale asking, hardly using legendaries. Yeah, well, many decks don't use very many legendaries. Legendaries only make sense to use if they make sense in the deck. There are some decks that use lots of legendaries, some that use very few. It's more about deck construction than anything else. Looking at some of the action here. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page, guys. Great Clash Royale competitive content all year round. So game number 1, it was the Graveyard Battle, and this was just a bad matchup for DreamingFly top to bottom. Really, really brutal ability to defend there. And then this was game number 3, and it looked like DreamingFly might take this one. It really did. But it was the Magic Archers for Schwarzen. And this Magic Archer on the right-hand side, late with the Goblin Barrel, really wasn't focused on it. And that might have been a bit of a misplay there from the Ukrainian. So there you have it, game number 1 of today's Western semifinal in the books. Schwarzen, the German player, moves on. He'll await the winner of our next matchup, Samuel Bassotto, possibly the all-time ladder king, depending on what you think. But 30-plus top 10 finishes and 4 or 5 number 1s. Yeah, that's pretty good. The kid can ball. Not to mention now a defending CRL Western champion with Space Station Gaming. Up against Adnan. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. You can see Adnan coming up here next. Adnan, however you want to call it. Going to be up against Samuel Bassotto. Personal best on his main, 7.1K. And has been playing in the Orange Crown League with S2V esports in 2020. So starting to break more into the competitive scene is the German. Let's go ahead and move on to game number 1. And yes, guys, I'm not going to be on the chat as much today for NoTilt, but I'll try to check in on the chat when I can. So it looks like Hog triple spell for Samuel. This has been very, very popular lately. You see the EQ come in early. That'll be nice against the Barb Hut. Barb Hut got an inadvertent nerf here with this most recent balance update, reducing Crown Tower damage to spells, except for the Tornado and the Earthquake. So the Earthquake now is the best bang for your buck, dollar for dollar, in terms of damage on tower per elixir. 2 Earthquakes do more damage to a tower now than 1 rocket. Of course, you got to cycle around to 2 of those. So far, game number 1, all Samuel. Adnan not getting anywhere near it. Fake Lapicati in the building. Thank you for joining. OP subs hanging out. This is the second bracket that Adnan's had a good finish in. Made top 8 in the day 2 bracket, and then finally made the top 4 in this bracket. His first shot at qualifying. And here we go. The 6-man, as Jack of Fav Gaming calls it. Royal recruits with a 3-3 split. Highly defensive deck here for Adnan. Adnan. We'll go Adnan. We'll go with the long A for this one. But this defensive deck is not keeping up with Hog and the single elixir. And the late Barb Hut not going to pull Hog Rider. GG, well played. Samuel making it look easy in game number 1 with Hog triple spell. And Adnan knows it. That's it for game number 1. Gonna have to regroup, figure out what to do in game 2, and come on back. There's the waving the white flag fireball. Samuel doing what's expected, taking game number 1. Will he do it again in game 2? We'll see in a few minutes. And again, the bands, Fisherman and Miner. Very interesting. We're seeing that twice today. Big GG, well played. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Rich Slayton on YouTube for replays of things like NoTilt, the AMG Cup. Of course, those are all live streamed on trovo.live/Rich Slayton, but you can watch the replays, of course. Some really great matches on there, including Igor versus Lapicati up there right now, if you want to see 2 of the greats go head-to-head. So you can see here, Only 2 barb huts down for Adnan, and one of them was a problematic barb hut. Dropped late. Hog slides right on by, but really it was a cycle issue. No good way to stop the Hog except for clogging the lane with recruits, which is very expensive, or getting a barb hut down. 4.3 average elixir to 2.9. And Samuel able to get down over and over and over again and not make it possible for Adnan to really play any defense here. Add in the EQ, and that was a GG well played. Here we go. Game number 2. Samuel with the advantage up 1. Miner into the safe spot. And maybe Adnan is doing copy deck. Hey, Chugga. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate your support using code RICH in the shops. Help support the open tournaments and giveaways I do, both on Twitter and on stream. So Adnan might have said, hey, I like that deck. Let's go. Oh, yes, guys. Here we go. The bans were wrong. So the bans had not been updated. Miner is not a ban card. The bans are Tornado and Baby Dragon. So don't be worried about that Miner. For a second there, I was like, hey, wait, what? Looks like Miner Loon for Samuel. Igor again went 4 times in a row with the same deck and no tilt. Was it that Hog deck again? That Hog Mortar deck? Kid's a madman. Of course, didn't end up qualifying. Who qualified in East today? Oh, it was AUK. That's right, Aurora. Man, this is going to be a good Stage 3 when we get there. Stage 2's already been phenomenal. Stage 3 is going to be insane. Igor went Lava Hound 4 times this morning in a row. My word. So again, it's Samuel with the lead. We have not seen a balloon yet. We'll see if he pulls it out. And this game's slowing way down here. Way down here. Both of them know that overcycling could mean underperforming. And that balloon going to get pushed back by the snowball. Not going to connect to tower. Well played. Snowball, Musk, and Bomb Tower making it very hard for balloon to get through. We'll see how Samuel tries to deal with that trifecta of aerial defense. Balloon in one more time. Bomb Tower will easily be back in cycle. Miner goes to the back, and that's good distraction here, pulling the Knight back and keeping the Musketeer from engaging, but Snowball will again push the balloon back, and you see right into the Bomb Tower range. Snowball, Bomb Tower, such a strong combination against balloon overall. Bomb Tower pulls it easily. Damage comes in. Once the Bomb Tower drops, Snowball it back into Death Bomb range. GG, well played. Samuel, though, was one of the best in the game, so if anyone can solve this mystery, he might be the guy. This time goes inside with the Miner, trying to get some more work done on the Bomb Tower. Not going to be enough. Snowball work might be a little bit off here from the German, though. That's going to be death damage on that left-hand tower. And just like that, Bassotto, Samuel back in the lead. Switching it up now, Ice Golem in front. Miner will go to the Musketeer, and yes, it does. And arrows in. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. Snowball pushing it back, but Snowball's early there on that balloon. Balloon's not going to connect, but will get death damage again. And that's all that Samuel needs right now is some good death damage. Staying ahead. Unbelievable. What great performance right now by Samuel. The triple spell just not working out for the German. Adnan goes to the back here to try to pick up the Miner, but he's just in way too much trouble. Hog high, Cage will be there. EQ trying to cut a path for the Hog Rider. Hog's going to get one shot here, maybe two. Does not get a second. Needs to cycle hard here. Keep on throwing Hog, trying to beat out the Miners and, of course, the balloons. Hog does not connect again. 481. That balloon really very close. High Bomb Tower. A catch here would be huge. Can he get something on the Miner? No, he cannot. Balloon's going to get death damage here, I believe, and that's going to be a GG well played. Miner doesn't do it. It's the Musketeer who slides on in for Samuel. Great performance. Samuel putting together varied attacks every single time. Adnan defending the exact same way every time. Samuel figuring out the math, putting it together, getting the tower down. GG, well played. Rico, Molt is a fine Clash Royale player, but nowhere near. But certainly a fine Clash Royale player. But these guys are on another level. Samuel's nuts. Samuel's absolutely nuts. So 2 games in the books. Samuel now one away from doing what Schwarzen did, getting the easy sweep in the semifinals to move on to the final. Man, Samuel can ball, huh? The dude's got skills, got talent. That's why he's in CRL. That's why he has 30 top 10 finishes on ladder. And Samuel certainly making a case for being a top competitive player as well. Might be the best player out of Brazil now, when you think about it. Although Surge TS might have something to say about that. And Diablo in the YouTube chat saying Adnan took 2 death damage he shouldn't have taken. You're probably right. You might be right there. Next game coming up in just a moment. While you're waiting for that game, don't forget that I host open tournaments as well. $100 Open the next one will take place on Wednesday, August 12th. That's next Wednesday. Sponsored by Geyser. Go ahead and take that link to download Geyser to play in the $100 Open Tournament, where you can compete against some of the best and win cash for playing Clash Royale. Here we go. Samuel versus trainer Adnan. Game number 3. The German needs a reverse sweep to win, but he's up against one of the best. That's going to be very, very hard to do. Samuel's first few runs in Clash Royale League, or first run in Clash Royale League with Fnatic, didn't go as well as he would have planned. Maybe some nerves for his first time as a rookie playing on the live stage. It is very different playing live in front of people versus just playing at home, sitting on your couch, sitting in your favorite chair. Of course, this last Western season was played remotely, so no worry about nerves there, just how well can you play. Jorgen asking, do you have to have Geyser to play in the tournament? Yes, in that tournament you do. That's why I'm linking it. It's sponsored by Geyser. So for that $100 Open, that is you have to have Geyser to use. So it looks like a mirror match here between Samuel and Adnan. We'll see if Sam's playing the whole same pieces. And a rough fisherman out of the German. Royal Giant shredding the left-hand side. And he's not going to get much on the right. Huge fireball value. Let's call this one here. GG, well played. For Samuel to lose this one, he would have to get hit by a truck in the middle of this game. Not quite a mirror match here, but pretty close. Unless, of course, Samuel is also running Skeleton Dragons. Yep. So right down the line. There's reasons, guys, why you don't cycle fishermen early. And all of that full-on fish go boom combination. Pull that Royal Giant right into the Hunter. Don't worry about that one extra chip damage. Samuel knows he's got a good position right now. Hunter aggressive from Adnan on the left-hand side to try to predict a Royal Giant coming in. Samuel way ahead of him here, and that's going to be the GG. Royal Giant goes right to the Hunter. Kaboom. This RG is going to get one shot on the right-hand side. That's not enough. Samuel making it look easy. 3-0. Clean sweep. And we have our finalists.
Schwarzen versus Samuel for a chance to move on to Stage 3 of the No-Tilt World Championship. It's going to be a fun final. Big opportunity for Schwarzen. A win over Samuel here would be a big feather in his cap. And it really felt like Adnan was never quite in this one. Samuel just one step ahead the entire way. Samuel totally crushed it. So sweep to kick this thing off. This might be here for a short day today, guys. It's only been 35 minutes. We're already to our final. If you guys have stuff to do today, well, good day for you. Because we are moving on to our final here in just a moment. Going to give some time for the players to get their bands in, pick their decks for the final here, and decide their strategy for the next round. Replays coming in. It all started off with Hog triple spell for Samuel. And rough situation for Adnan. Really had no good response. Wasn't able to pair the Ram Rider, slow the Hog, and then DPS it down. Of course, the EQ played a role. And then Adnan copying the deck. And just went with this is the first time he varied his defense. And he had to because he didn't have the Bomb Tower and Cycle until then. But Adnan became predictable on the defensive side. Samuel took full advantage. And then game number 3, mirror match. And you see that Fisherman from Adnan just getting completely neutralized. Royal Giant creates an insurmountable lead at that point. And then massive fireball value. Just different levels of this game, folks. You can be great, and Adnan's a great player. Adnan's a high 7K player, knows how to play. But there are levels to this thing, and Samuel Bassotto's on a different level. Showed that today. So here we go, getting ready for our final in just a moment. Before we get there, reminder that I host open tournaments on my channel regularly. Next one is going to be on the 12th, sponsored by Geyser. You can go ahead and check that one out. If you follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, you'll get all the information for those events when they come up. If you're looking for the Discord, the Rich Slayton Discord, here you go. Who selects the bands? Asks Juna. The bands are selected by the players. They put their own bands in. So here's our bracket as it stands now. I can just link the Rich Slayton Discord if you haven't seen it yet. You can get all of your information for my open tournaments there. I always post the announcements for them when they come up. So here we go to our final, Schwarzen and Bassotto. The players getting their bands and decks ready. And don't forget, guys, to subscribe to the NoTilt YouTube page, by the way, while you're here. Subscribe to NoTilt on YouTube. Ring the bell for notifications. Never miss a moment of the NoTilt World Championship. And NoTilt bringing you great Clash Royale competition all throughout the year. The NoTilt Worlds, the World Cup of Clash Royale. NoTilt League Special Edition with the CRL pros in the off-season playing. And, of course, the NoTilt League. Great Clash Royale competitions year-round. Subscribe now. Hit that button if you're watching on the NoTilt YouTube page. Here we go. Finals. Samuel Bassotto against Schwarzen. Best of 5 for $1,000 and a chance to move on to the next stage of the NoTilt World Championship. Join that top 16 in the group stage. Looks like Samuel going Hog triple spell one more time. And it's Giant GY for Schwarzen. Immediate Hog pressure opposite lane. Stab Gobs and Musketeer on defense. But the Musketeer connects for Schwarzen. Huge damage for the German on the right-hand side. Takes the lead early in the first minute. So big opening play from the German Schwarzen. Taking a massive lead. And now has a little bit of elixir on the board as well, so Samuel's going to be forced to spend here.
and still take a shot from the Dark Prince. Schwarzen looking good early in this finals matchup. Ahead by 2, so happily cycles that snowball. Hog to the left-hand lane, Schwarzen will cage. That cage placement not counting the Earthquake. If the Earthquake doesn't come in, oh, even with the Earthquake, wow. Color me wrong. That cage placement, as you can see, can completely counter a lone Hog Rider. So write that one down for yourselves, folks. If you're playing a Goblin Cage, an unsupported Hog Rider, or even apparently an Earthquake Hog Rider, dies to that cage position. I had no idea that the Earthquake would not open up for one shot there. I'd never seen that before. Now switching lanes is the Brazilian. Dual lane pressure from Schwarzen. Giant to the right-hand side, set up with the Musketeer behind. Bomb tower early for Samuel. Expecting to go Hog to the left-hand lane as soon as he sees that Graveyard come out, but that's why you see Schwarzen setting up. No, going Hog into the right, going Hog right in. And again, cage high. This is a rough situation for Samuel so far. Arrows will easily clean up that defense. You don't see a lot of Giant GY these days, but Schwarzen easily taking game 1 with it. Wow. Late cage here. Night Witch to contain. Arrows will finish it off. GG, well played. Schwarzen taking game number 1 over Samuel Bassotto. Great deck selection by the German here. A little outside of the most common, the central portion of the meta. So hard to put somebody on Giant GY arrows. You're not going to see that often. And if you're thinking that Samuel's going to run this deck one more time, great call. Great call indeed. So game 1 goes to Samuel, or sorry, goes to Schwarzen. We'll see if Samuel can get it back. Not going to be easy. So game number 2 coming up very soon. We'll see what changes Samuel makes this time around. Ben Copeland asking, Rich, did you see Aurora this morning? I did not wake up early enough for that this morning because that was at 6 a.m. my time and just a little early for me. I cast a couple days of CRL, of NoTilt World Championship Eastern semifinals, and I was exhausted the whole day afterwards. So Schwarzen cycling Fisherman early. Maybe seeing the Knight and not being worried about what else is coming. But I do get nervous about cycling that Fisherman so early, not knowing if your opponent has a Giant Skeleton that can drop at the bridge or a Royal Giant or something nasty. And P.E.K.K.A now with the Battle Ram behind. Samuel set up okay here for the defense. That Battle Ram, though, could get through. No, it doesn't. P.E.K.K.A gets evaporated. Battle Ram down, and Ewiz Hunter Knight more than up to the task. So a Fisherman version of bridge spam here for the German. Fisherman really does seem to be everywhere right now. And if you're having trouble with the Geyser link, go ahead, DM me on Twitter about that, guys. But right now, we're focused on this final. Samuel versus Schwarzen. Graveyard in left-hand side. Poison in response, and it'll be interesting to see how Schwarzen, or how Samuel tries to break through more frequently. A little bit late on the poison maybe here. A lot of damage. Of course, the Knight did that last little chunk. Justin Rivera, you like chickens. That's amazing. I like chicken. Neutral feeling on chickens, the actual animal themselves, though. Schwarzen getting built up a little bit on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, but Samuel's defense has been more than up to the task every single time. Bans, by the way, Tornado and Skeletons. And again, the Ewis Hunter combo. Just locking things down and blowing them up on the right-hand lane. Schwarzen has been able to find no way through. And now a GY push on the left-hand side. Ewis does stop the Skeleton Dragons high, so only one will tank for a short time, but now left with a Royal Ghost on defense, and that ain't going to do much. 593 left-hand lane. Samuel in a commanding lead as we go into the final minute 45. That should be GG on the left-hand lane here. Poison in. That poison's not enough to finish, though. Remember, it is a new 184 damage poison, so that's going to fall short. Snowball will finish it off, though, once Samuel gets there. Pekka's in both lanes. Shouldn't be a problem. Samuel cages up. Snowball in. GG, well played. Going to game number 3. Very well done by the Brazilian. Locks it down pretty nicely. Stats provided by Stats Royale. If you want to know what your next chest is going to be, go to statsroyale.com. They'll tell you. Is it a magical chest? When's your next super magical chest? How long to that next legendary? Stats Royale has all that information cracked and opened. So Samuel, Hawk Triple Spell doesn't work game number 1, switches to Graveyard after seeing how well it worked for Schwarzen in the first one. We're all tied up. See Samuel going to the safe spot with the Goblin Barrel. For you guys out there playing, for you guys out there playing Goblin Barrels, if you're playing Goblin Barrel, your first Goblin Barrel, don't go for the Goblin Barrel surround. Throw your first Goblin Barrel in the safe spot just like you would a miner. There is no reason to surround the tower on your very first Goblin Barrel, not knowing whether they have Tornado. Throw it in the safe spot for the moment. See what happens. Get an idea of the deck and then make your calls from there. Samuel doing the right thing, and so few players actually do it. Greedy Goblin, this is not the first match. This is the finals of today's Western semis. Winner wins $1,000 and moves on to stage 3. Fake La Picati be changing your name for the CRL offseason and leaving FLG. No! NATO is banned in this case. That's right, Chuckwagon, but it's generally good practice either way. Yeah, move of pure instinct, says Mr. Bacon. Yep, absolutely. Pure instinct. That's how Samuel has been trained. Instinctually throws his first barrel to the safe spot. So double bait for the Brazilian. Schwarzen stacking up at the bridge right now. Hadn't seen a ton of Barb Hut since the new meta began, and today we've seen a fair bit. Relatively slow game in single elixir. Let's see if the pace picks up in double. Can Samuel Bassotto stretches opponent's defenses thin? Or will Schwarzen overwhelm as time goes on? The German really slow playing here in the opening moments, not wanting to make a big mistake. And GY in. That'll be a solid poison. We'll get the Dark Goblin off the board. But not a ton of damage to show for it. Samuel still in the lead, 1496 to 2091. Goblin Barrel going to be in. Barb Barrel in response. Law gets some chip damage. So far, it's a single lane gain for Samuel, not switching back and forth, not trying to get too tricky with it. We haven't seen a double push yet. There we go. Now goes to the right-hand side, forces Schwarzen to at least focus there a little bit. E-Wiz does come down, as it should. And that's good poison value. Going to get those Skeleton Dragons pretty much off the board. Plus Barb Hut damage, plus tower damage. But E-Wiz on the right-hand side for Schwarzen goes coast to coast. Puts him back in the game, 1766. Now will he change lanes? Graveyard can change lanes pretty easily and get a ton of damage. Dark Goblin goes left. Is this when Schwarzen gets ready to go right? Nope. Pushes right into the same lane one more time behind the troops he has already working. Schwarzen trying to chip his way back into contention. And now you see Barb Hut puts pressure on the right-hand lane away from his weak tower. Your qualifiers so far on to the next stage in the West. Boss, Vitor, and Air Surfer. One of these two looking to join them. In the East, it's Jupiter King, AUK, or Aurora, Demas, and Lime. One of these two will be the 8th qualifier for the group stage round of 16. And right now, look at the damage in the right-hand lane. Schwarzen completely flipping the script here. Graveyard poison in. Samuel trying to push with a Skeleton Barrel on the left-hand side. Not going to do it. Schwarzen takes game number 2, and now the German has match point. That's what I was talking about. Switching lanes. Samuel was just forcing him to play that lane over and over again. Schwarzen did the smart GY move and got the heck out of there. Switch to the opposite lane. Sharp play there by the German. Didn't take a lot of graveyards, but it certainly doesn't take that many. You get one great graveyard connection, the whole thing changes. Samuel just not getting enough of a lead in the early stages of that game, and the longer this game goes, the more Schwarzen can start stacking Barb Huts, start creating problems. Here we go, game number 4. Match point for Schwarzen. Samuel adjusted well after game 1, going into game 2. Let's see if he does the same thing here. Oh, that made my heart drop for a second. I thought that we'd lost everything. We're still here, I think, right? Oh, that was nerve-wracking. Samuel going with some variation of bait again. So a little bit of a challenge here with the clean feed from Clean Feed Signal, guys. Hopefully that cleans itself up here in a moment. Apologies for the technical difficulty here. Yeah, we're all still here. For some reason, the clean feed is struggling for the moment. I'm going to try to maybe downgrade it, see if that helps. Take it down to 720. Apologies for the connection issues there, guys. Hopefully those clean themselves up. $700 on the left-hand side. Schwarzen in a commanding lead in Game 4. And again, Inferno Tower for Samuel. What is he putting the German on here? Where he's running Inferno Tower twice. He's a German. The Germans love pigs. They go with piggies all the time in this game. Run Bomb Tower. Really not understanding the Inferno Tower decision twice here, unless he thought Schwarzen was going Maybe Golem or Lava Hound. Double bait push right-hand side for Samuel. But really just no way to deal with the Royal Hogs. Samuel in a ton of trouble here. Behind again with bait. Poison high to clear out the support on the left-hand side. Fireball in. This is it. This is it. Schwarzen's moving on, guys. Schwarzen is moving on to the next stage. GG, well played. Does it in 4 against one of the best to do it. Samuel trying to steal this one back on the right-hand side, but too easy. No good responses on defense and on the other side of it. Schwarzen, great matchup. So that's going to be it, folks. Fireball will be in a moment. And we have our 4th player going on to stage 3 in the West. Schwarzen gets it done in 4. Great work by the German. And that's a big win for him. Strong on the analysis side of it. Strong on the gameplay side of it. And even production is so shocked that they had Samuel's picture up before there. Schwarzen winning $1,000 and moving on to stage 3. Big win there for the German. Huge feather in his cap, making it to the top 16 of the NoTilt World Championship. Moving on to the group stage, where he'll face against some of the best in the game. Already took out one. Don't worry, guys, if you're a big Samuel fan, he does have 4 more chances to qualify and get on to the next stage. But for now, GG to Schwarzen. A lot of talented young players out of Germany right now. Schwarzen, Faust. Here you go, take a look at some of the replay here, and this was a great call in game number 1. A little off the center of the meta, going giant GY. No answers for Samuel. Then game number 2. That Pekka bridge spam with the fish boy does fall. And Samuel had it all tied up. Felt like we were going to go long here. Easy peasy finished that one off. But in game number 3, Samuel goes back to double bait. And this one was close. This one was very, very close. This is the deciding game right here. This is the game where Schwarzen took control. This is the game that won him the match overall. Yes, game number 4 is what sealed it. This is the game that won it. And then final game, Samuel just has no answers for the Royal Hogs. No way to really play defense against it. And there you go. Your winner, Schwarzen, taking home $1,000 and punching his ticket to stage 3. GG, well played, young man. Gotta say, the talent out of Germany right now definitely has a lot of skilled young players. But don't forget what the Ukraine is doing right now, with both Legolas and one of our semifinalists today, DreamingFly, coming up. So you have a lot of young players coming up from new parts that maybe we've seen before in Germany or haven't seen before in terms of a big-time international competition out of the Ukraine. Today was a great one. Today was a really, really great one. Schwarzen looked great against DreamingFly. Easy 3-0. Samuel dismantled Adnan in those semifinals on the other side, and then here we go to the final. And it came down to that third game. That third game was everything. That third game goes the other way. I believe Samuel wins it. But game number 3, Schwarzen switches lanes, puts the pressure on, takes the game, and takes the advantage. We could have gone to 5, but that was the game that won him this one. And you can see how in a best of 5, just one game can be so critical. A total swing game there. And then just completely nailed him to the floor in game number 4 with that matchup. So GG, well played to Schwarzen. Moving on, joining some heavy hitters when we get into that next stage. Already the players who qualified, really, really good. Boss, Vitor, and Air Surfer on the western side. That's going to be real stacked. And on the East, Jupiter King, AUK, Demas, and Line. Line a little bit underrated. You might not know him as well on the western side of it. Top tier player over in the East. And of course, Jupiter King and Aurora, or AUK, formerly of Nova, then moved around, back to Nova again for the CRL East 2020 fall split that starts on August 15th. So some of the best players out of there, Jupiter King, of course, is correct. So the East is going to be stacked, and the West now. Some players you've seen for a long time. Air Surfer, of course, a long-time pro. Boss, someone who people have wanted to see break into the next level for a while. We'll be playing in CRL East this upcoming season. Moving on now in NoTilt World Championship. Big for him. Vitor, the Portuguese player. Portugal was one of my sleeper picks at the NoTilt Worlds. And Vitor, a big part of that program. And now here moving along. And then now we add in the German, Schwarzen. So you can see sort of the way that the development of the semi-pro scene over the last year or so. Take it back to CCS last year in 2019, all the way through the NoTilt League and stuff this season, has had the results we've hoped for. That's it for today, folks. I'm Rich Slayton. It's been a lot of fun hanging with you. I'll see you back here again in 2 days for our next edition of the NoTilt World Championship semifinals. For everyone here, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.